Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Derek Ledwich from Strive Fitness Performance. Today's video, I'm going to end up going through how to create your goals, goal setting session that is going to create an action plan that you can do. All right. This is going to go beyond more than just what is your why, what a plan are you going to follow and stuff like that. It's going to go a little bit deeper than that. And the overall focus is going to be 100% around you as an individual, both, what happened in the past, diet history, and where you're at right now. See, most people end up struggling creating goals, creating an action plan because they just want to follow a plan. They don't fit it around themselves, or they really think about what they used to be able to do, maybe before kids, when they first lost weight, stuff like that. And it might not be an actual thing that they can do currently right now. Right. Or also on the third note is that they might not just be ready to lose weight or to get to their goals. Okay? All of those things have to happen first before we end up creating that action plan, because there's so many different, most people are paralyzed by analyzing everything, paralysis by analysis. There are so many different plans out there, and most people just don't actually take action. They just sort of research all of these things and never actually do anything. They're very, very busy. All right, so that is what we're going to end up doing today. Again, as always, give a little bit of a like, help us out to spread it throughout this group. So that way they can actually see more and more people, or more people can see this video and to help out. So feel free to, as you watch this, give a little bit of a like if it's something that's interest of you or anything like that. And that way we can spread the love, spread the information to everyone. And then, as always, these are going to end up being saved as well, so you can actually see these later on, and you can save it to come back to anytime you have to create this vision. All right, so that is what we're going to end up going through today. As always, if you have questions, feel free to post in the comments, either while you're watching it, while I'm doing it live, or later on. I'll always be being tagged into it, so I can end up seeing it later on. All right, so what we're going to do first, here we go. All right. So as we do this, pretty much how to create your goal plan and your action plan. Basically, we use a method called the VCI method, and that stands for vision, okay, core principles, and then imperfect action. I'll go over each one of these, and we're gonna go. This is exactly the process that I take all my new clients and old clients through this. Even if you're an old client, this is something new that we sort of did. The information is always the same, but now it's a little bit more clarity. That's the overall goal of doing this in our strategy sessions. Okay, so vision. As I would do this beforehand, I would create a little bit of a list and do exactly what I do if you're doing this at home. Basically, you're going to create 3 different slots: vision, core principles, and imperfect action. And we're going to create our own action plan as we go through this. Okay, so vision. What is a vision? Right? At number 1, we have to figure out, what are we actually going to do? What is the goal? Is it weight loss? Is it something else? Are you actually able to lose weight right now? Most people right now, this is a perfect time. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on, but maybe summer, hey, you know what? It's not a right time to lose weight, even though my overall goal is to lose weight. So maybe something else is there. It doesn't mean that you don't just either lose weight or gain weight. There are always goals. So your goals change. Anytime their goals change, you do this entire process again. Okay, so what is the goal? For our fact, it's going to be, weight loss is the overall goal for everyone right now. Okay, so now that is my goal. I'm able to do it. All right, so now what is the vision? What does my diet plan look like? Okay, so now what you're going to ask yourself is, good and bad. What do I do well with when dieting? So now we're talking about diet history. What do I do well with? What do I struggle with? Do you struggle with snacking? Do you struggle on the weekends? Do you, struggle with alcohol? Good. Do you know what a good source is? If you just turn vegan, do you actually know what good protein sources are? Do you know how much protein sources you do? Do you do really well with macros? As long as you're on it, you just have to become consistent. Okay, that's fine. Do you work out consistently? Are your steps high? Are all of these things really easy? You don't really have to think about. Bad might be Your steps are really low, because it's winter and you're an office worker, so now what are those things that you sort of have to do? Because these are the things that you do well with, and these are the things that you're going to have to sacrifice in order to lose weight. So you have to be ready for that. If you're not willing to, then you're not in a good spot to actually lose weight, and your goals have to sort of change a little bit. All right, so now what else is there? What else is your vision for your weight loss protocol? So now it's going to be, maybe, how many meals do you eat out? Maybe every Friday is an off day. That might be date night. These are the non-negotiables. What things are you going to include in your vision for your weight loss program? I have one client right now that, they go out to eat a lot. So now they only go out to eat once a week. They still make some good decisions, but you know what? That's all I'm doing. Most people struggle because they try to restrict it completely. It's part of their lifestyle. So now it's something you have to adapt your lifestyle and your plan around that. The problem with most people is they try to cut out their lifestyle, and that's not sustainable. Okay. So what are the non-negotiables? What are you going to include? This could be date night. This could be pizza night with the family. This could be ice cream with the kids, after a softball game. It could be alcohol once a week, wine night, one of those things. It could be literally all of those things, and now that is my vision. How many days during this 12-week span is going to be a struggle? Maybe now it's every single Saturday is a struggle. For me right now, it's volleyball season. So now the weekends are really, really big. I'm always busy. So if I wanted to lose weight, A, it's probably not going to be a good thing for me to do, but B, I just have to adjust my plan for that. Okay, you can always end up losing weight. It's whether or not it's cost effective. Are you able to do this? You're always able to get your goals as long as you realize what you have to take away and sacrifice. And if you're willing to do that, then you can. All right. So what is your vision intake? Okay. What does your goal during this time period? What does that look like? All right. So now core principles. This is going to be the stuff that we end up always going over. This is the typical, is it macros? Is it, protein? So what is the plan? Okay. These could be endless, but you like to think about the individual, intermittent fasting, macros, portions, protein, carbs around workout. It could be like literally anything as we start doing this, just straight up vegan, protein and calories, a straight up meal plan. Ideally not, but hey, it's something that we want to do. Okay, so what does the plan look like? Okay, again, this could be anything that you can actually do. Okay, that's going to be the important thing. It has to be you. All right, so now it's what can I do? For people that are doing our 6-week intro program right now, a lot of people are doing macros because they like it. It keeps them on point. Some people don't want to do full macros, so they're just straight up doing protein and calories. One woman who is vegan has to learn how to get her protein, and she has to include some carbs around her workout because her workout, she's really, really tired all the time. So that's the only thing that she's focusing on. Those things, that action plan is the only thing that she is focusing on. Some people use the meal plan template that I end up giving some of my clients because they want it easy. It might be the plate method, whatever it might be. What can you yourself figure out that you can do? I have one client right now. Her non-negotiable is she drinks a little bit on the weekends, but nothing crazy. She does intermittent fasting every single day because she doesn't want to track, but now she's sort of paying attention to having complete meals. So does she have a carb? Does she have a protein? Does she have a fat in each meal that she has? So that's the thing that she's doing. She's doing intermittent fasting, so it stops her snacking. And now since she's getting the right amounts of food, because now the foods are, complete, not necessarily worried about macros or anything like that, or complete quantity, because that will stress her out and she will not be able to do that. So now we did some other stuff. So now this is that action plan that she can do, and she's gradually losing weight, and it's awesome. All right. So that is the stuff. What is the plan that you are going to end up following? And then, it might be, workout 3 days a week. It might be steps, get 8 to 10,000, something like that. All of these things could be here. It might simply be journaling, pre-planning. Whatever it might be, that's all that we are focusing on is the core principles. What is the action plan that you can actually do? So it's not working out 7 days a week if you work out one and it's a struggle. It's not, I'm going to do macros if you have no idea what the hell macros are. There's a learning curve to do that. If your steps are really hard to get to 10,000, maybe you're only getting 8, whatever this might be, this is how we focus around that, and your vision is going to include some of those things. So it might be, if alcohol is the thing, alcohol 1 day a week, okay? On point. It might be that, it's literally just something like that. What is going to be the action plan that you're going to hold yourself true to? Okay. So those are the core actions. Those are the core principles. That's going to be your code during this time. All right. And then imperfect action is the next one. This one is very, very much just as you go. But the overall goal is, are you getting better each week? Right? So it's not about being perfect. It's about becoming better each time. Okay. Okay. How do you know that you're consistent? All right. So now the imperfect action is each week I'm going to adjust my plan according to what ended up happening. So maybe I'm going macros. I want to go full into macros and I bomb big time. Maybe I have to adjust that plan. Okay. I know that because I'm taking imperfect action. Maybe I am doing really well with some of these, and now all of a sudden I'm struggling. You have to look at it each week and you evaluate and you adjust. All right. So now, are you getting better each week? So how do you know? How do you know that you're doing that? Okay. You could be tracking metrics, body weight, tracking macros in MyFitnessPal, food logs, anything like this. Okay. It could be any are you becoming better each week? Are you doing well? Okay. One of the easiest ones that a lot of people end up doing that they love doing is the calendar. You get a calendar, and each day you do all of these, you put a check. Each day you miss, you put an X. Okay, how did you do? Or if you have multiple one of these, create a point for each one. 1 point here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. So now all of a sudden it's each day, there's six ones, there's 6 points. Now, did you do it? Yes or no? So now at the end of the week, you tally up all these points and did you get it? Maybe you only worked out 3 days or 2 days that week. So now all of a sudden you get, you don't get all those points. It's not about being, I think I did it okay. It's, I know I'm doing because here's the proof. Okay. That most people are very, very vague on whether or not they are actually improving. They're very busy. They're not actually improving. This sort of helps that. Okay. So how are you going to be consistent? How are you going to know that you're consistent? And how do you know that you adjust? Okay. And that's going to be the key point here. That's the third point, is taking imperfect action. So doing this, we have our goals. Okay. It's weight loss. It's just straight up, I want to get control. Maybe it's, I want to lose like 30 pounds or something like that. I wouldn't put a number. I would just simply say, I want to start losing weight, and then you create that core principles, and then you create, how do I know that I'm being productive instead of just busy? Okay, this is how we create that action plan that you can actually do. That's not going to be too stressed off. Okay, so after you create this, you should ask yourself, is this doable? Am I able to do this? If not, you have to adjust it. Okay, is it going to be something that you can go with? Okay, this may sound super simple, to some people that, it's just, hey, I just write down all this stuff. Okay. If you have questions about it, or you're still wondering, what the hell do I do? There's so many things I can do. We can easily jump on a call, message me, comment under here saying, hey, I need help here. And we can end up talking through a little strategy session, and we can create that clarity if you can't create it yourself. All right. And then keep in mind too, as we do some of this stuff, this changes each little thing. So maybe I lose weight and now all of a sudden I need to maintain. Okay, well, maintenance comes in. What is my core principles equal now? What is my goal? Okay, what are the actions that I'm going to take during my maintenance? Maybe it's summer and all I want to do is maintain. Okay, so now I'm drinking alcohol 2 days a week, and I don't want to track macros. I want to maybe just, hey, I'm getting my protein in, or hey, I'm pre-planning, having complete meals. Maybe I'm just getting my steps in. That's all I'm doing. Now all of a sudden there's your new action plan. The problem that most people have when they do this stuff is they don't have a plan. They just do shit. They just are busy. They're just throwing stuff against the wall and they hope it sticks. And that's why people fail. That's why a lot of people struggle right now, second week, first week of February, because their plan wasn't around themselves in January, or they were just doing a lot of random shit and they expected results. Random shit doesn't equal long-term success. It equals short-term. Okay. But at some point, people that have a plan don't actually do it. And the plan's never going to work all 100%. That's why I have a job. That's why it's coaching. All right. So I hope that was beneficial. Like I mentioned, if you have questions about what it actually is, or what should I do, or anything like that, a lot of it's going to be, it depends. But if you have questions about it, feel free to message me, and we can, again, I can give you a little bit of like a heads up on some of the things, what I would see after a little bit of a strategy session, and what route you should take. And then if you needed extra help, we can always talk about what coaching actually entails. But again, hopefully it was beneficial. I would go through this process and let me know how it goes. Feel free, if you do take some of these steps and you start going through, let me know how it goes in the comment section, and we can celebrate your wins. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon.